Hey everybody, it's David, and about 6 months ago or so I did a State of the Watch collection, and after posting it I really felt unsatisfied with where my collection was, why I had the watches that I had, and I really leaned hard on a social media friend of mine who I think is just the greatest guy, Tony Gamble. He's behind Talking Timepieces with Tony, my favorite YouTube channel. I watch every single post that he does. And he's become like a big brother to me. Just a great, great guy, great human being, completely down to earth, no nonsense, and I think is a wonderful person. And I really appreciate him and everything that he talks about and advice that he offers. He's a fun guy. He's an amazing musician. He's got an incredible history. His father has an incredible history. And I'm really lucky to have made contact with him, and he's a really kind human being, and I recommend you watch him. Anyway, I told him about my watch collection, how I thought it was, I'd had it for years and years, and overall it was kind of garbage to me. And, he was kind of easy on me and said, listen, it's not about what you spend, it's, how you wear it, what it means to you. And you can put some thought and some heart into what you collect and have it mean more to you. And, the brands don't matter. He recommended Omega, I think. And I really took what he said to heart and changed a lot of my collection that I have. I don't have a lot of money because I have 2 kids in college. I have a mortgage to pay for, and there's really not much left over after that. But I found for my needs, that Bulova really fits my budget and what I like about watches. And so I just want to show you where my collection is right now. If you want to go back and see what changed from the last time I updated the collection, it's pretty different indeed. So the star of the show is still the Lunar Pilot. This watch I think is wonderful. For around $400, you get this incredible chronograph with the history of going to the moon with David Scott in I think it's 1971. It's got the date, right on the watch. Yeah, August 21st, 1971. So great watch, great history, and I don't think this is my first Bulova, but it's the one where I was like, you know what, hell yeah, that's gonna be the brand that I want to start collecting. So in the last few months, I've picked up. And I apologize because I'm not the greatest watch broadcaster and don't have reference numbers for everything that I'm talking about here. And these are in no order except, I guess, from top to bottom or left to right. I picked up this dress model. Most of these are quartz, and I used to be really against quartz watches. Like, well, that's not what serious collectors, get or whatever. So I collected a billion garbage automatic watches. I find that these are no nonsense. They keep the time perfectly. You grab them and you go. And I'm not a snob, so I don't know. I'm not against people who like only automatic watches, but I'm just saying, for me, there's nothing wrong with quartz watches, especially from a nice brand like Bulova. This one reminds me of a Rolex Explorer. It is just a time date, and I could see wearing it to the Emmys with a tuxedo or something. I think it looks really, really dazzling and nice. So I got that one a couple of weeks ago. I had this one before, chronograph. This one is a small, 6 o'clock subdial chronograph. Not the most expensive, but if you're wearing something with brown, that goes with it nicely. I think they put a nice little signature on the buckle there, and on the sorry about the I'm trying to work with the light here. Crown. I had the Marine Star before. This is a nice chronograph movement. I work in television news at NBC in Chicago and have to time a lot of things. And I use my chronograph every single night at work. So to me, it's important. And I don't have, more than $1,000 to spend on each watch that has a chronograph. So these come in handy. I think this one looks really nice. This isn't a Marine Star. This is a less expensive model than that. But it's your classic diver on a leather strap. Again, nice looking signature on the buckle and on the crown. It's not a screwed out crown. It doesn't have crown protectors. but it's nice rotating bezel. I can never tell how many clicks that is, but I think that looks really cool. It's the kind of basic look that I like most in a watch, so I'm happy with that. I have a real similar one in gold and silver. This one's on a bracelet. I wasn't sure how I would feel about the gold, on the bracelet here. I thought, oh, that's going to get scratched up immediately, and it kind of has, but I don't care. You wear it all the time. It has the exact same kind of bezel on it, and pretty good. If you've got blue highlights you want, there you go. I had this. This is an automatic. Another dress watch. Bulova's kind of gotten away from the tuning fork on the logo. They've moved that to Accutron. So I really like seeing it on watches that still have it, because I think it's cool. It kind of reminds you of an upside down Omega logo, you know what I mean? And so that one's cool. Caravelle is Bulova's budget line, and I found a couple of these on Amazon. I work at NBC. This is an NBC logo on Caravelle. Fun fact, but the first TV commercial ever was a Bulova commercial on NBC during a baseball game. So I think that's just kind of a cool thing. I've got another one on a bracelet. This is a Caravelle. If you look, it says Caravelle by Bulova on the top of the dial. This is a peacock in gold. This one has a rotating bezel too. So kind of nice, very inexpensive. And I went ahead and got one just straight up Caravelle diver watch. I think it's got the great classic diver watch look, and really inexpensive because it's Caravelle. My newest Bulova. I'm a Bears fan. I know Tony, you're a Bears fan, so I'm gonna be wearing this tonight, watching the Bears play Indianapolis. But chronograph, I kind of love the orange strap that this chronograph came on. Chronograph, again, this is a small subdial ticker on the chronograph and rotating bezel. I'm doing just one with one hand, so you can tell it's easy, and I like that one a lot. And I recently got, I love Fender guitars. My favorite guitar is my Fender Stratocaster HHS, and I wanted a watch to kind of show my passion for guitars, and so I got this on eBay. I think it was $54 at a shop in Florida. And I think it's pretty cool. It's got the Fender Spaghetti F. You can't really see it, but on the crown, and the signature on the buckle there too. So genuine Fender watch, which is kind of cool. Seiko Solar chronograph. This is the best bezel of any watch I have. I'm not a crazy Seiko fan, but I do enjoy this one a lot because it's completely reliable. It's solar, it doesn't need a battery, it doesn't need winding, it has a great chronograph. There we go on that. Push-in, screw-down pushers and crown, and just, really, really great tool watch for when you want something to work, it's there and works. So that's kind of like my fancy box. I've got my other box of watches. I have to mention first, my wife got me this 23 years ago next week. It's going to be our 23rd anniversary. And on our wedding day, she got me this Swiss Army watch. Used to have, black indices on the dial. They're not there anymore. But great watch. I've, probably put a battery in it 20 times. But it's been awesome. All right, 20 times an exaggeration. Probably 8 times. I have a couple of Mickey Mouse watches and feel horrible about this. A friend of mine gave me a NBC 50th anniversary watch, and it didn't have hands on it, didn't have a strap, didn't have anything. I repaired everything, and the medallion inside was loose and was spinning around. And I literally opened the case, put a drop of super glue on it to hold it, and pressed it back together. It clouded up, and everything froze. So I really don't know what to do with that. Tony, if you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm not nuts about homage watches or homage watches, but I do have a few that are kind of in this, lesser case that I have, including a Pagani, Panda Daytona style, a Speedmaster style. I've got another, 007 style, and a couple of sterling, GMT styles. These are less expensive than automatics, homages, under $100. These have friction bezels, which kind of blew my mind. I had never had a friction bezel before, and they both have the same thing. They don't click; they just move. And I think original Rolex bezels did the same thing, just had friction. I'm not positive. Swatch. I never got a Omega swatch, but this one does have a planet on it, and I thought it was cool, and it scratched that itch without having to get into that whole mess. Pagani Open Heart. A Stour watch that I opened this one in the other video, but it's a picture of my wife and I inside. And I got new straps on these three. This is a Mustang watch. I drive a silver Mustang, and it's my favorite car. I love it. So this one's cool. This is weird because it has a rotating tachymeter. I don't know the purpose of that. And it all started with this for me. I was a producer in San Diego in 1994, and I was boogie boarding, and I wanted to have a watch that I could wear in the ocean to, not be late for work, but also to wear at work to time, news segments, weather segments, and stuff. So I got this Fossil. I think it was about $100 at the time, which was a fortune to me at the time. And I've used this for countless newscasts, and so I will always have this little guy. And is that it? Yeah, that's really it. So that's the update, and I do this not so much to show the world, look at the watches I have, but one, to thank Tony Gamble, because I think he's an amazing human being, and two, to give myself a video to look back on years later and be like, what did I have then? What's changed? Oh, I forgot. The watch that gets the most wear for me, the Timex Expedition. This is by my bedside. This is what I wear to make, because I run 7 miles every day at 6 a.m. And I check my watch to see when it's almost 6 a.m. And I wear this running, and every day I start my day with this one. And it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. You can't go wrong with it. So there's the update. 12 minutes, not too bad. Those are my watches. Thanks for watching. Sorry if this was boring, but I just wanted to get out there. Okay, thanks you guys, and take care, Tony.